Can you imagine growing up as a child and not celebrating any holidays, such as Christmas, Thanksgiving, or even your birthday? I can, because I was one of those kids. And because we did not celebrate any holidays, we were never invited to family events or get-togethers. And although I was not deprived as a child and I was very loved, family traditions was the one thing that I missed out on and what those family traditions represent. And as you can imagine, because we had no traditions of our own, we also had no sense of closeness with any of our family. Now, as an adult and a family of my own, I have made traditions a priority. And because of that, our family dynamics are much different compared to when I was a child. I think family traditions are an important aspect of building a strong family unit, whether you celebrate holidays or not. Family traditions should be carried out to continue family legacies, new and old. After the passing of my grandfather, I realized there were a lot of family dynamics of our family that were very unknown. Despite living right next door to my grandfather, we were not very close. He was an avid outdoorsman, but he was also very cranky, which meant that I kept my distance most of the time. But looking back though, had we had some sort of family traditions, we could have had three things. First, a family bond and closeness. Second, a better sense of who we are and where we come from. And third, lasting memories. Family togetherness is a part of family traditions that help create the bond between younger and older generations. This bond automatically carries out customs and keeps those memories alive for those future generations. These bonding moments created by family togetherness was something I never had with my grandfather. And as a consequence, I also never learned much about my heritage, nor about my grandfather in his younger years. Maybe if I had had those bonding moments with my grandfather, I might have learned why he was so cranky. Furthermore, family traditions give a personal growth to individuals. Knowing where you come from culturally will help guide you in creating or learning your own self-identity. Now, as I mentioned earlier, my grandfather was an avid outdoorsman. And even though I have very little memories of spending time with him doing those activities, after his passing, his love for the outdoors suddenly became my passion as well. And it became extremely important for me to carry out those activities to try and keep his memory alive. And also probably to try and make up for what was lost when I was a child. Now, today with my own family, those activities have become one of our favorite family traditions, and we spend those times creating the memories, and it's enjoyed by all of us, which is wonderful. Now, in addition, it is no secret in our society that we're extremely busy. Now, this also means that we eat fewer meals together as a family, which can be very problematic. Studies have shown that almost half of parents today state that they eat fewer meals together as a family compared to when they were kids growing up. That means that we're missing out on a lot of bonding opportunities with our family. My daughter, Sydney, who is 12, had a friend over for a sleepover, and when it came time for dinner, she proceeded to explain to her friend that we needed to sit at the table and eat dinner together because that's what we do. That was a proud mommy moment for me because even though it doesn't seem like a big deal, eating together as a family is just as important to my daughter as it is to me. And family dinners might also not seem like a family tradition, but they really are. Family traditions create memories to look back on. It's a time surrounded by love and happiness. Those memories are what you can hold on to personally and look back on personally for many years to come. A couple years ago, we took a trip to Yellowstone. We loaded up our fifth wheel camper older camper. It's nothing fancy. We drove all the way to Yellowstone from Oregon, the middle of June. It's hot. We had no air conditioning, and we camped out for a whole week. We were roughing it. There was nothing exciting. There was no roller coasters. There was no SeaWorld. There was no Disneyland. But what we were creating was memories together as a family, and we had a blast. Now, 2 years later, we are still talking about that trip. We are still talking about the things that we've seen, the animals that we've seen, and the things that happened during that trip and that we enjoyed together as a family. And I think that was a successful trip because we created wonderful memories during that trip. Now, as you can see, family traditions bring an array of positives that bring family togetherness, personal growth, and lasting memories. Whether you celebrate holidays or not, traditions lead to better family growth, relationships, healthier kids, and stress relief. I encourage every family to carry out old traditions, and I challenge families to also create new traditions and make them a priority. In conclusion, I'm going to leave you with a fitting unknown quote. It says, "The most treasured heirlooms are the sweet memories of our family that we pass down to our children." Thank you.